Hi there, in this tutorial here we're going to be looking at making the leg for our noob. We're going to be learning about the commands extrude and chamfer, and we'll be able to explain what extrude and chamfer do at the end. We're going to make sure our work is highly accurate, so we're going to follow the tutorial nice and closely, making sure that we get the dimensions right and we're applying all the required features in the required places. So let's get started. You need to have Autodesk Inventor opened up. This here can be found in the Start menu, and it'll be under Autodesk. Autodesk Inventor Professional, and this version I'm using is 2019. Make sure you don't open up a software called Inventor Viewer 2019, which will often come up if you search for Inventor. The software should look like this here. If not, you'll need to go and find it again in the Start menu. We're going to go up to the top left here and click that little page icon above the word New, and this brings up our Create New File menu. Under templates, we need to make sure we select metric, so we work in millimeters. This is the units across the right hand side here. We're going to click our standard part under the top menu here, and then we can click create there. This brings us into our environment. In the big grey space here, that's where our model will appear. On the left here, we've got our model tree, and along the top here, we've got our toolbar. This toolbar will change automatically as we go to different features. But you can also click on different tabs, and there are lots of different features and functions built into the software there. But if you're wanting to work in 3D, always make sure the 3D model tab is selected. We're going to start by actually just saving this file. So go File, Save As, and we want to save that as leg. And I've chosen to save this in a folder called 3D CAD, which is in my digital literary folder within my S1 folder, and I can click save there, and that means the computer will auto save as we go along if it crashes, but then we need to make sure we save as well at the end of the day, otherwise we will lose our work. So once we've saved it, we can go up to Start 2D Sketch here. So click on that big icon at the top in the top left area there, and then we get what we call working planes there. These planes are like sheets of paper suspended in midair. So we can click on that horizontal plane, and we're now in a 2D environment. So this is essentially like sketching on a sheet of paper. Previously we were in a 3D environment, but now we're in the 2D environment. You notice the tools up here have changed. So we can draw lines, circles, arcs. We want to draw a rectangle. So you'll notice below these, there's a little arrow with the word below the word rectangle there. When I click on that there, and there's different ways I can draw my rectangle. I want to select 2-point center, so I can select that there. You notice as I hover over these things, it kind of gives me an idea of how to use the tool and tells me what it does as well, which is useful if you come to use Inventor more. So I can click on that there, and now I need to choose where I'm drawing my rectangle. We want to draw it right in the middle of those two lines. And you notice as I hover over that point, my little pointer goes from yellow to a green dot. And that means it's kind of constrained itself to that center point. So when I click there, and then we drag out, and we want to click again. The tool will be still selected, so don't click anywhere at the moment. You need to press Escape at the top left hand side of your keyboard. And at the moment, if I click on this line here, they can move around. And that's because they're all, and the fact they're all light blue tells us that there. As I add a dimension here, so I click on the dimension tool at the top left here, click on the line when it's highlighted red, and then click above the line, and that just a position where the number goes. I'll type in 50 there. You notice my lines go dark blue, but it also kind of disappears off the screen. So I need to zoom out using the scroll wheel. So now I've got my dimension positioned above the line where I clicked. I've got two dark blue lines either side there. I've got two light blue lines. If I just press Escape to get rid of my dimension tool, you'll see that as I click on those light blue lines, I can move them around. If I click on my dark blue lines, nothing happens. It's because they're constrained. So I need to click on my dimension tool again, click on this line at the right hand side here, and click to position where I want my number to be, or my measurement to be, and then type in again, I want 50 here. So we've got 50 by 50 there. And that's my sketch complete. So it's all dark blue, and that's ideally what we're looking for when we ever exit a sketch. So click Finish Sketch there. And now we're in our 3D environment. What we want to do next is we're going to use an extrude tool. So up at the top left corner there, you can click on extrude, which is one of the tools, and you'll see it adds depth, it makes our 2D drawing kind of 3D. It's gone for a depth of 10 millimeters, so that's perfect. So if it doesn't say 10, then you need to type that in, and I can click OK. You can navigate around and move this block around using a variety of different commands. If I hold Shift, which is on the left hand side of my keyboard, and hold down the scroll wheel on my mouse, I can rotate that round, and I can view it from different angles. And that's really important. We're using that later in the tutorial as well. If at any point you can hold Shift, you get a bit lost, right, how do I get this back to where I need to be? You can hover over the view cube in the top right corner and click the little home button, and it will kind of default to isometric view there. You can also click on the view cube to rotate it around different ways, and you can also click and drag on that there as well. What we want to do next is we want to add a chamfer. So you notice it's one of the smaller tools at the top there, and a chamfer, and this applies a bevel edge to one or more of the component edges. So I click on chamfer. It's come up with a distance of 2 millimeters. I want that to be 3 millimeters, so I can just type in 3 there. And I just need to select what edges I'm going for then. We'll have that edge there. We go for that edge there, so the top 4 edges. You see I'm clicking on them as they go red, and I've got 4 edges which have now gone green, and you've got the bevel applied. So I can click OK on that there, and that's those applied there. I can just hold Shift, hold down my middle mouse button, and rotate round and have a look at that there. That's looking good. So we want to make the rest of his leg, so I'm going to hit Start 2D Sketch again, and it wants me to know where I'm going to sketch. So I'm going to click on that top square face there, click on that there, and rather than using the rectangle tool, we're going to use what we call Project Geometry. So I can click on this. This tool here picks up lines that already exist in the model. So it's creating a new, it's like kind of tracing. That's the best way to think about that. So if I click these 4 outside edges when they go red, so click on them when they go red, and they turn green for me when that happens, and click on that one there. See, I've got a green square around the outside there. And yeah, so I've got a green square around the outside. You can zoom in and zoom out using a scroll wheel. If you ever get a little bit lost in your sketch there, so say I get really zoomed in, you can hover over this toolbar on the right here and click that button there, and that zooms to fit your sketch, which is a really useful one to know. And then we can click Finish Sketch there. Again, we want to head up to Extrude, and this time we want to extrude it for, let's try 100, see what that looks like. Oh, it's going a little bit big. That looks pretty good, so we'll go for 100 there, and we will click OK. And that's our block added. So I can just, again, I can just rotate around, have a wee look, see what it looks like. It's looking all pretty good. I can always hit that home button again just to set it back to its default view. Then we want to add chamfers. So we can click on the chamfer tool up the top left there. So applying a bevel edge. The distance this time we want it to be 2 millimeters. And this time we're going to do all the edges that we haven't previously done. So I'm going to do the top 4 edges. I recommend working around the same edges all at the same time. So the top 4 there, and just clicking on them when they go red. Doing these edges around here as well. Holding Shift to rotate that round there, and holding my middle mouse button down. Clicking on that edge as it goes red as well. And then I'm going around these 4 down here. 4, and clicking on that one there, and then finally I'm going to go down on the very bottom 4, and again holding down my middle mouse button, holding down Shift to rotate that round, and that's looking pretty good. Don't think I've missed any there, so just checking around that I've not missed anything. Remember, we're looking for a really accurate model here, and I can just click OK there. If needs be and you've missed an edge, you can always right click on chamfer there, and you can go Edit Feature, and that means you can go back into it and you could add another edge there if you wanted. So click OK just to get rid of that again there. So that's it. So we've got our model tree now. You notice it's got our extrusion we did first. It's got the chamfer we next did, our 3mm chamfer. Then we have got our second extrusion, and then our last set of chamfers there. So this is the model tree, and it kind of shows you all the steps you've been through, and you can go back and edit those there as well. The last thing is we have to do now is add some color. So up at the top of your screen, hopefully you can see the word default. and scroll down. I want to make this, go for a green. That's an olive green. That looks pretty good to me. And that's me done. So you can make it a different color if you want there. What I need to do now is just go up and click save, just up in that top menu bar there. And as I've already named the file when I did save as earlier, it just saves automatically in the same place there. It's the same file. So that's our leg there created. One thing you want to do now is you want to work through your explanations of the words of the CAD command, of extrude and chamfer. Make sure it's nice and accurate there, and then you can speak to your teacher about what level you have achieved with this model.